Hello, Knockouts. Tonya TKO here, and I'm a self-love specialist and relationship expert from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you learn to love yourself and each other. You know, I say that at the beginning of every video, but I don't know if you all are really listening to me. This channel is all about self-love, loving yourself and other people. Yesterday, I put up a video about why most men cheat. And in the video, I presented evolutionary and scientific data for why most men are predisposed to cheating. And I was really surprised by what it was that I was met with in the comments. You know, a lot of women with vitriolic spewing, some even calling me names, others telling me they're disappointed. You know what? Listen, disappointment is not a one-way street. I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in some of you. So listen, we're going to get started in this video, right? I don't exactly know how to cover such a big topic, so let's just go step by step. Let's just start here, and we can continue in another video. This says hypergamy. I want you to take, can you see that? I don't know if you can see. Ugh, the light is shining. Anyway, the word is hypergamy. And hypergamy means dating and wanting to be with a person who has more resources than you, who has more money, more resources, more whatever, right? Just has more than you. Upper class, superior station in life, but just being drawn to that. Women are genetically predisposed to hypergamy. We have evolved to be more drawn towards men who have resources. We've spent the past week and a half talking about this, even so much so that yesterday I uploaded a video by Dr. Ava, or the day before yesterday, I uploaded a video by Dr. Ava Muhammad, and she was talking about how it is within the female nature to not be able to deal with financial stress. And oh, the hand clapping. Yes, girl, speak. She said a word. Oh, yes. Everyone was well, the women were very happy about that. The men, on the other hand, were kind of in a little bit of denial about it. There's still some men, listen, there's this ongoing debate. Why should I provide this, that, and the other? Listen, and ladies, listen, no matter how much someone tries to rationalize with you about hypergamy and just being drawn towards a man with resources, you cannot strip it from your DNA. It is part of your human and your female condition. You have been evolved this way because the women who did not get with me, remember when I told you what makes me, the part of relationship expert that I am in is in evolutionary psychology. That's my expertise. So I study the relationship between people as we have evolved over time. All right? So no matter how you try to strip it from your being, it's just embedded in there because the women who did not get with men who were willing to pour resources into them and their offspring, they didn't make it. Them and their children died, or just their children died, and she was never really able to successfully reproduce. So we are where it is that we are because people have had genetic success. This is how the survival of the fittest comes about. All right. So yesterday we talked about, you guys, I don't know if you can't really see my board. All right. So we talked about men yesterday. And we talked about, I don't know if we can call it polyamory or if we want to call it polygamy, but we'll call it poly. We'll just call it poly. We talked about men and their polyistic nature inside of them and what it is that makes them drawn to be with other people other than their mate, just it being biologically encoded. We also talked about how the male penis, you know what, I'm going to draw my plunger again. I'm going to draw my plunger. In species, look, I'm going to draw my testicles, okay. In species where the women are more promiscuous, the males have larger testicles because they have to be able to shoot out more semen per capita, semen per cubic inch, right? And then we have the penis, which is a plunger and a scraper. to push into the vagina and scrape out competitor semen. When I talked about cheating yesterday, I talked about it from both the male and the female standpoint, about how it's encoded in our DNA, and that monogamy is a new concept that is going to take some time. And somebody else started talking about there are animals who mate for life. Yeah, of course. Penguins mate for life, wolves mate for life. What does that have to do with humans? I said that monogamy is not natural to humans. I ain't talking about other animals. I'm talking about us as the animal. And I said all of this. I even finished off the video saying that as men's testosterone plummets, that they're more likely to be faithful. But a 22-year-old man and faithfulness is going to be a much trickier subject than a 35-year-old man and faithfulness. You know what I was met with in the video? I was met with a bunch of women. I'm disappointed. You condoning cheating. I want anybody, to show me what minute or second of that video I condoned cheating and told women that they should be with a cheater. Give me the minute and the second of that video, and I will send you a $25 Amazon gift certificate. Go check. Find me the minute and the second where I condoned it and post it below. Okay? Because I did not condone it. I did not say that anybody should be with a person who cheats. As a matter of fact, I talked about the brokenness that exists inside. But you know what the biggest problem is that I saw with the responses, and I see why we're living the type of lives that we're living right now. And part of the reason that we're living the types of lives that we're living is because we don't listen. One person called me a pick-me. And I'll say this. Be careful about saying stuff on the internet that you wouldn't say to someone's face. I live in the real world. I don't get on the internet thugging, but that's a whole different story. Come see about me. If you want to talk to me, call me names or whatever, come get with me one-on-one, right? So somebody called me a pick-me. Listen, because I am not Derek Jackson. You are not going to be able to bully me into being quiet. I'm here to help us be able to have the dialogue. So listen, because see, I'm going to say this and then we're going to jump into my points. I see how a person like Derek Jackson, Steve Harvey, we talked about him last week. I see how these males get bullied into pandering to you, only saying what it is that you want to hear. Because when you hear what you don't want to hear, you get very irrational. You get very emotional. You don't listen. And that video was 9 minutes. If you can't listen to each section was 2 parts. Each part was approximately 10 minutes, right? If you can't listen to 10 minutes of what somebody is saying before getting in your feelings, it makes me wonder what's going on in your personal relationships. When we talk about loving each other, there has to be a way for us to be able to have a conversation. Do you want us to be able to have an earnest, honest conversation where we can interact? Listen, my channel is for intellectuals. We come here and we discuss. Why do you think I ask you all to do the orbitals? So that we can start pontificating and using philosophical reasoning, logic, and deduction. But when you come at me with ill logic and you start calling me names, listen, if you feel that my theories are wrong, then please post a counteracting theory. You know I'm all about learning and expanding. I'm willing to broaden my point of view. Are you willing to broaden yours? So let's jump into the next part that I want to discuss. If you're not listening to me, are you listening to your man? There's so many of us that our partners try to tell us what it is that they like, what it is that they need, and we shut them down. I'm a life coach, and part of what makes me so good at what it is that I do, there are men who come to me and they're like, oh, you wouldn't know because you're not a man. Actually, men will talk and they will open up and speak to a woman. Men are, there's something about, and I would say as a woman, the conversations that I have with men are even more earnest than a conversation that a man will have with another man, because there are airs that a man needs to put on in front of another man. When I get a man one-on-one and I talk with him and I create the space and I hold space for this being and I let him know that it's all right to come forward, I give them the opportunity to speak and speak earnestly without judgment. There are far too many women, there are far too many relationships that I come into contact with where a partner tries to tell their mate about a sexual desire, fantasy, or fetish that they have, and their mate shuts them down. Shuts